It gives me great pleasure to introduce yet again the Sussex by the Sea podcast, episode 130, Fan Roundtable, with lots of lovely guests who have already been welcomed once, but I didn't press the record button. Hello, John from Canvey, Terry from Margate, Windy Gale from Hastings, Rob from Folkestone, Marc from Whitehawk, and Rob from Horsham. We shall try again. Many apologies to you all. I've already said good evening, so we've already got that out of the way, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. As is tradition, we try to speak to Rob, who's from Horsham, a club that I haven't been on before. We'll ask you, Rob, please tell us how you fell in love with the Green Army.
Yeah, so 37 years I've lived in Horsham. Went to Queen Street, our old ground, a few times, 3 or 4 times, but nothing major. Didn't follow them religiously or anything like that. And that was around when I was 17, 18. And then they moved and we were homeless for 11, 12 years, Worthing, Lancing. And then life just takes over. And then realistically, the last 6, 7 years, I'd say, sort of went back there with the new grounds. It's a club that as soon as you walk in, everyone's friendly. They remember your name. It's sort of a place you want to come back to. And then, yeah, I found, I'm sure you've all heard, the bunch, the Lardy Army, and they sort of dragged me in. And from there, the rest is pretty much history. Every home and away game pretty much go to. I only miss a handful of the season. So, yeah, sort of, I used to support a league team, and that's sort of taken, now Horsham's taken over that now. When I first met my partner, she knew that if, for example, unfortunately, I was a Liverpool fan, well, I still am, but when they lost, she knew. Now it's the other way around. When Horsham, she doesn't even need to ask me. She knows. She just looks at me or whatever it might be. Or So yeah, that's how I fell in with it, and it's a great club to be with and associated with. And luckily, in the last 3 or 4 years, we seem to be going in the right direction. It's just been a wave of enjoyment really to be with. So and it's like, as you all know, it's a drug. It takes you. I just love it. It's you speak to the players, the manager, speak to the away fans. It's just a great place to be on a Saturday, home and away. And there's nothing like non-league fans. So that's how I started and continue to do so.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Rob. Good sport. Hopefully you can come on many times after this. We're talking about your lot. Obviously, you didn't start too well, but since that Dulwich, where you got a bit of a spanking at Dulwich, I don't know what Dom's done, but you've been generally since then.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at the start of the season, obviously, as you well know, down at Hastings, and it wasn't just that. It was the next 2 or 3 games we played. I think after you guys, we played Chichester at home on the Tuesday, following the Hastings on the Saturday, and then we had Potter's Bar. And for example, the Potter's Bar game could have been 5-6-0 at half time, and it was 2-0, and then you get back to it, and by 90 minutes up, it was 3-2, and you're sitting there going, we're standing there, and you're like, how we not finish this game out? And I think that was the start of the season, sort of felt like that. And I've always said it. If you want to play Horsham, for me, the beginning of the season is probably the right time to play him, because we take a little time to get going. But yeah, that Dulwich game was Dom's the first one to admit. It was 3-0 down after 20 minutes. It's sort of one of those games you can brush aside, but we were terrible that day. And then sort of from then on, we sort of kicked on, and it's a little bit frustrating at the moment. Well, not as frustrating as in the sense with the league that we can't put a run together, because with the cup games, FA Trophy, FA Cup, Sussex Senior Cup, we sort of like play a league game and then that's it, put to bed for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we get to another league game and it's a cup game. So, but no, we're beginning to start to tick now. We're fortunate in the sense as well. We seem to keep the core players, and I think that helps massively. And we've added a bit of quality, like with Phil Pock signing full time from Dorking. Chris Dicko, who's come in, who's 39, but I generally don't think there's a fitter 39-year out there. He's a joke. He comes on and does a job, and yeah, we're doing well. Hamo and Barker in midfield. It seems to be ticking. Ola from Lewis. So we add that little bit every season, but yeah, we seem to be doing all right now, especially after that Dulwich. That was an anomaly. That doesn't normally. We don't normally get beaten by 5 goals, 6 goals, that sort of thing. So, but yeah, no, we're starting to tick.
Very un-Horsham, that was.
Yeah, it was. It seemed to think that every shot was going in, and I think you get games like that. I'm sure we've all been there, where you're standing there after 30 minutes. You don't mind getting beaten, and the way we did that day, and It's just one of those things. It's frustrating, and unfortunately for a Horsham fan, we don't get that very often. So you can sort of put that to the by side and move on. And we did that really well, to be honest with you. We came back, we bounced back, and we always seem to. When we do lose a game, we bounce back. I think we do have that sort of, because the boys have been with each other now for such a long time. I think they do have that sort of resilience, and we kick on. So and then and we go from there really.
Well, it's that, and the fact that you've got Daniel Ajakai, who
Yeah.
we absolutely love at Hastings, and well,
Yeah.
it's just
He's a hard player not to like. He plays football with a smile on his face. His pace to burn. I remember last season against Barnsley, their right back, like away at home. He didn't get a kick. Dan had him on toast, and he's a league player, and he's got that quality in him. But especially now, it's sort of, I feel with Ola coming in on the other side, not everything goes through him now. So he gets to that little bit of spurts of rest, and he can then kick on in the second half as well. Because last season he was beginning to tire, and he did have an injury, probably because of the impact and the amount of minutes he was playing. But no, yeah, he's a phenomenal player. He's one of the fans' favourites. All the kids are the first ones wanting his signature. So yeah, and pace, as we all know, pace. If you've got pace up top, you're always in for a chance. So. But no, he's definitely a fan's favourite.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. And so who should we go to next? Should we get Hastings out of the way, Wendy?
Yeah, go on then.
Go on then. Right.
That's sweet. Let's go.
Right. Do you want to start?
Oh, where'd you start?
No, do you want to start? No, not really. Go on. So I'm joking. Do you want to start? No,
Well, start with the news from yesterday.
What about Bloor GONE?
Yeah. For those who don't know, our manager was he departed. I don't know. I'm sure it was a bit of shoving and pushing, but yeah. So we have a string of pretty bad results, really, and it was inevitable. The players didn't look like they were playing for him, and there was obviously something not right. So we'll see. Well, temporary manager's Sean Ray, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, temporary manager.
Yeah, and we'll see, won't we? But I think the players are good enough. It's just motivation and getting them playing in the right way. That's just not. It wasn't. I mean, we have lost a few players. I mean, John Ufar was a massive loss for us, wasn't he? But and Ollie Black as well. Some of those players that we've lost, but we've got others coming through. And I don't know. There's some decisions that have been made recently. I'm just thinking, why? Why have a defender on the bench and then moan about your defence, but don't bring him on?
Yeah. Well.
You know, this is why
he lost the plot a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that draw against Cray, like we had a couple of weeks back, 0-0 against Cray, and he said he set up well. Cray must have had, but I mean, even we go back to Horsham. I remember when we beat you, yeah, you had about 9 clear-cut chances.
Yeah.
That any other game you're putting that away.
I think Rob was right by saying that we played him at the right time. We all said, "Oh, thank God we got Horsham now," rather than in about 3 or 4 weeks' time.
Well, that and we let the grass grow long as well. But
that's
all the dark hearts. The dark hearts we use.
Yeah.
I'll take anything. I'll take anything to beat Horsham. I mean, let's be fair. But
yeah,
I'm not sure we're going to repeat that at their place. But yeah, so we played Cray, and then he said, "Oh, we set up well and we were hard to beat." And yet they had 12, 13, 14 shots on goal.
Yeah.
Louis pulled off 3 or 4 fantastic saves. If you've set up well, you're not giving away that many chances on goal. Yeah, you're just lucky. Yeah, you're going to get found out.
I mean, I didn't see the game Saturday, but I was listening to radio commentary and
against Hadley.
Yeah, and he said after the game that he was like, "Oh,
that was a hostage video." Did you see that video? Anyone I recommend highly.
Yeah.
Danny Bloor's.
He's got his hand behind his back. But it was like, so I'm blaming the youngsters, and they're just they're young, they're inexperienced. And from what I was listening to, it wasn't the youngsters that were making the mistakes. So I don't know.
So yeah, anyway, we've
got to move on. I mean, we've been saying it for quite a while, haven't we?
Yeah, they've not been playing for him, and equally, it's like I'm from an old school mentality of if the players aren't playing for them, get them out. Yeah, it's not about getting rid of the manager straight away. But he did neither. So he said in interviews, "Oh, right, we're not going to have it. Some of this lot are never going to play for Hastings again," and then he played them again.
And some of the players that have left recently, since the start of the season,
well, they were bang average, weren't they? I mean, we've not recruited well. We haven't. Jack Dixon playing in defence.
And we got a decent defender that we put out on loan to Eastbourne Town at the end of the season. JJ Walker, he was doing all right. So keep him. They go on about how good the youngsters are, and you can't just always wrap them in cotton wool. Sometimes you've got to put them in and just think, come on, let's see what you can really do.
So I'm going to just I could have a moan on about this bloke all day. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
But I'll just tell a quick story. After the Shoreham win, we won 6-1. Anyone would have beat Shoreham that day. Unfortunately, they didn't really turn up.
No.
Maybe a little bit of stage fright or whatever, because, we were nothing special, but we were winning 6-1 without. I mean, another side could have beaten them by 12. Anyway, so our manager just did not want to be there. So he's the first to get away. I just, very strange, very, very strange. But
yeah,
particularly after a 6-1, you think, and if you really want to stay. Anyway, so he's parked by the main stand, where if anyone, we all know where the main stand is at Hastings, yeah? Yeah, so it's dark. There's a big old traffic cone in front of his big 4x4 car, right? And it's one of those big old suckers with a sandbag it's in front of it, yeah? He's so quick to get away. So he's the first person to leave the grounds. Most of the fans haven't gone yet. He's jumped in his car to get away. He's drove over the traffic cone. And instead of getting out and moving it, he's tried to reverse. He's ripped up his bumper and he's bombed out the ground, right? And me, my mate Ben, and an undisclosed Hastings player, we were all cracking up laughing at him. Because he still will be there. And it was brilliant. There was lots of cone related humour.
Yeah.
That went on after that. But yeah, good. Obviously wasn't working. Goodbye.
Good riddance.
Yeah, and let's hope we can turn it around a bit, because it's gone a little bit pear-shaped.
I just hope the damage hasn't been done too much so that we can still pick up. I mean, we were in a similar situation this time last year, and we did pick up, and we had a fairly decent end to the season. Well,
we didn't. Yeah,
apart from the
apart from that
we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get onto that later.
But yeah, we'll see, won't we? Plenty of games to come. I mean, like Rob was saying, the cup matches have made a big difference as well. You're sort of having games postponed. We haven't had a home league game since beginning of September, and our next one isn't until the 5th, and that's on the Tuesday. I'm talking about Saturday league games. We haven't had, but it's beginning of September. I think we got one in Dartford. I think's coming up in a couple of weeks' time.
I mean, we've got a couple of players in Callum Barlow and
he looked quite.
Callum Barlow was playing for Bognor and scored against us this season, but we've got him back in. He used to be a Hastings academy player. Got a couple of goals against Shoreham, but that's
got Finn O'Mara back.
Yeah, Finn O'Mara. Not sure about that one. I just step 5 player really, and well, he's lovely bloke. I mean, I don't know, Robbo, Folkestone Rob. We got Finn O'Mara back. I mean, I'm a lovely lad, but he's not really sort of step 3, is he?
Well, he did a right winnings with us. I was gutted when he left, but I haven't seen him recently. I haven't seen him. But
he's at Whitstable. We got him from Whitstable.
Yeah, I did see him in a friendly beginning of the season. But he dropped all the way down to Whitstable. Okay, right, yeah. But I mean, he's a solid lad, isn't he? So you might get something out of him. Fingers crossed.
But yeah, so we got a decent spine. Finn Chapman, Freddie Legg. Got George Walker, good player, coming forward, and obviously Louis Rogers, a very, very busy goalie. It's not panic stations. It's just the right time to change and try to be less easy to score against.
It'd be interesting to see who comes in, though.
That's true. Right.
Don't know if there's any obvious candidates.
Well, I don't know. I mean, just find out to you lot. What do you make of what was going on at Hastings, or do you think that we're all drama queens and we've sacked him too early? What do you reckon?
I never thought he was the right choice anyway, to be honest, from the start. I think that was just a bit of a rush job, I think, getting him in. I don't think Hastings board and committee actually thought it through. I think they were rushing to get somebody in the door, and he was the first name popped up, and I think that was it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I'd seen his name touted around before. I mean, I'm not going to be claiming to be a massive Sussex football expert, but I think when he was at Eastbourne Borough or something, his name was getting dragged from what I saw on Twitter. So I thought, it's a bit of an odd one. But as you say, the results were speaking for himself, really, weren't they? So, and as you say, if he lost the team, lost the dressing room, then it's best to make the change now. It's only a quarter of the way into the season, really. Otherwise, if the rot sets in too long, you're fighting an uphill battle, especially after Christmas.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, we had similar when we bought that Stimo in. He came in and he didn't have the dressing room at all, and it weren't until basically Ben was taking over what the team was doing out on the pitch He was just there picking the team. So it's if the manager isn't right for the team, he might be fantastic on paper, but we play on grass.
Yes. Let's go to. We haven't had Marc on for ages. Come on in, Marc. What's going on with Whitehawk?
Hello. It's good to see you. Good to see you all.
Good to see you, mate. Good to see you.
What's been going on at Whitehawk? A lot. Talking about managerial merry-go-round, we've been through it quite a bit in the last couple of months. So, it's been interesting. Ross obviously when Sean left us in a great position, finished ninth, great end of season form. We was second in the division form. We was just playing out of our skin. Season finishes, Sean leaves, 95% of the squad leave with him, to everyone else in Sussex's benefit, to Burgess Hill, to Horsham's, to everyone else. Hamish Morrison's at Burgess Hill, Joel Daly's at Horsham's, and I see Joel Daly playing centre mid against us the other way. I'd pull him up and say, "What's happening there?" I've never seen him playing there before.
He's been playing pretty well, to be fair. He's doing all right, to be honest.
Joel's a great player. And then obviously Ross McNeely come in. It was all a bit of a shambles, really. I think between the board and Ross, I think there was just unrealistic targets. So the board wanted us to clear out 95% of the squad, get in a load of players from bloody Lancing and all that, and expect us to win the league. That was their aim, and that is still their aim, to get promotion, which is completely pie in the sky rubbish. It's never going to happen. We could see it at the start of the season. We knew what was going to happen. Ross as a coach, as a person, top bloke, really, really good. I don't doubt his coaching credentials at all in the slightest. I think his CV clearly speaks for itself. That night up in Horsham a couple of weeks ago was just horrendous. It was just absolute dog. It was one of the worst games. I mean, the following week was probably the second worst game I've ever seen in my life. But I walked in, as soon as I walked in the stadium, I thought there was a minute silence. I didn't know what was going on. Wild players on the floor, done his ACL on his knee. He's out now. Apparently, probably never going to play football again. So that was our centre half gone. As soon as the restart kicked off, we was 1-0 down within, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I think. It was something silly.
Yeah, it was pretty close, wasn't it?
Yeah, it literally was. Next thing you know, there's 2, 3, 4. And we're like, Jesus. 4-0 down at half time. Lost 5-0. I stayed to the end. 2 players come over to me to clap at the end. One player, I literally was looking at all the players going, "What? You lot are just an absolute disgrace, man. Like, absolute, just rubbish. Attitude, mentality, quality, technically, all just absolute pony, to be honest. Do you know what I mean?" So we've got a lot of players in. We've got David Attendorf, the assistant manager with Ross from Lancing, who was Lancing manager last season. Clearly, we thought Ross would have more links to the National League. That's probably why we got him in. Never happened. We ended up getting a load of Lancing players who, again, not very good. And building sort of around them and building on 2 players that stayed with us from last season. So we go to the following week, got Cheshunt. We're like, right, okay. You know, as we went into the Horsham game, we was level points, level goal difference. We come away losing 5-0. And Ross's words to me were, "We should never be losing 5-0 to Horsham. We should never be doing that." And I went to him, "I agree. We come here last season. Charlie Harris banged in the 90th minute winner. And we was, it was quite good." Anyway, following week at Cheshunt just lose their manager, that Craig, who's an interesting character, but full due respect to him, we've done a great job of him on a limited budget. We were just awful from start to finish, from back to front. We've had 3 or 4 different keepers so far this season already. We've gone through 37 players so far this season already.
I thought we were bad.
Yeah, I thought we were. Sorry, Marc. I thought we were terrible.
Oh my God!
No, it's been awful.
Sorry.
When you were talking about Danny Bloor, I'm sort of going, in a way, I did expect it to happen at some point. I didn't expect it so early, but yeah, no, it's been dire. We haven't. I can't remember when we last won a game. So anyway, Ross departs, which I think was a bit of a shame. I think the board have said that they're backing him. to be honest, the feeling I get from my football club, and I'm probably the most outspoken person there. Sometimes they love it, a lot of time they hate it. But I tell them exactly how it is. And I said to them the other night, I said, you lot are a disgrace. All you're doing is literally turning up to get money. I said, none of you care. I don't know if I can swear on here, but none of you
swear. You can swear, don't worry.
I said, none of you give a fuck like I give a fuck. I said, and that's the problem. When you put on that Whitehawk shirt, it should literally mean a little bit of something to you. You've got the opportunity to be playing in the Isthmian Prem. A lot of people don't get an opportunity. So, you know, you would sort of think that they would take it with both hands and they would play out their skin. But the opposite. With the Chestnut game, we conceded right before half time. Really sloppy, shit goal. Just a scramble in the box. And then exactly the same just before the end of 90 minutes, another one. And I promise you, I've never been over that ground where everyone was sort of booing. Everyone was just like, boo, like, let's come off. And I just stood there and I was just like, this is shit. I was just shouting. I was like, you lot are pony. And it's so frustrating because, like I said, I care. I've met all of you pretty much, haven't I? And you know how much I give a shit about my football club. Just don't feel reciprocated from bottom to top in any way, shape or form. So...
there is a sun on the horizon. You know what that sun on the horizon is?
You've
got us. No, you've got Tuesday week. You're playing us. There's that sun.
You'll batter us. You will actually.
You ain't seen us this year, mate.
But it's got
0-0 written all over it.
Yeah.
It's gone there.
I mean, it has, yeah. I mean, I would happily have a bet with you and say that you'll beat us, but you know, I think what's so noticeable is we've got our group who go, we've got the ultra lot that go. To be honest, we've never really been very pally together, but we've got an understanding. We all love the football club.
Yeah, it
got to a point where our group and their group are literally saying exactly the same things, and to me, that's an issue. That's a problem. Yeah. And what I've got, and I've tweeted it. I mean, everyone sees my tweets. It's a load of rubbish. But at the end of the day, we should be allowed to have a voice and an opinion on our football clubs. That we spend a lot of money going to follow, home and away all season. I know some of the grounds aren't very far. There are a lot of them in Sussex, but it's the principle of it. We take our time because we love that football club. And we take the money. So if they don't care and they don't want our opinion, then for me, you sort of go, why am I bothering? Why am I bothering? I really don't understand it. It's got to the point where
it's like a marriage.
Attendances are horrendous. Attendances are terrible. Even I saw a tweet the other day from a Hendon fan saying that they took 100 away from home. We literally cannot take more than 10, 15 anywhere we go. And for me, that's an issue. It's an issue with home attendances. The whole thing just stinks at the minute. And it's so frustrating because you look at where we finished the end of last season and you've gone, we could really have built on that. Really, really just kept everyone, added 2 or 3 in. But no, obviously the owners clearly know better. They know football better than anybody else in the world. And we are where we are. And I don't think it's going to get any better. David Appendorf, now the manager, who was assistant manager. So, I mean, if they couldn't get a tune out of him when he was assistant, someone tell me how the fuck is going to get a tune out of him as manager? Because between, you know, us supporters, the fella doesn't even acknowledge us, even assistant manager. Walk straight down, head down, don't want to interact, doesn't want to literally speak to nobody. For me, these football clubs at this level, fans are your lifeblood. Fans are the most important people at your football clubs.
Yeah.
And if you can't even acknowledge supporters, he said in his interview, I understand the fans' frustrations. You don't, because you're not acting on it. And you're not even speaking to us. So how do you know our frustrations if you don't even speak to us? To me, that's just a load of shit. Just shit. Just rubbish. So really, in a nutshell, really frustrating because we had everything to build on and it's just gone south quite literally very quickly. So, and you could see at the Horsham game, Rob, yourself, we were poor. We were just really bad.
I think going on that Horsham game, I think in the stands, like I said earlier, I think we were missing quite a few opportunities early on, not in that game, but I was talking about previously at the beginning of the season. And we were seeing those Horsham fans go, we knew some team would get the goals that would bang in 3 or 4 or 5. But I think the thing that struck us most in the stands was they were making the same mistakes, Whitehawk. It was continuously the same mistakes at the back. They weren't learning. The gaps were massive. And we thought, generally speaking, to like just a general chat afterwards in the bar, we thought he'd probably go then. We wouldn't be surprised. I think you could tell the players weren't playing for whatever it was, but it was just like, you don't mind players making mistakes, but to do it 2, 3, 4 times, you're just like, there's a fundamental issue there if that's the case. So, but we like you say, last year you did a double over us, so I'm not complaining. But yeah,
I mean, and again, it just comes down to how many players we're churning and going through. We've got no spine. I mean, if you're going through your 4th keeper of the season, you've got no.
That Taylor Seymour debacle even before a ball was kicked, wasn't it? He was there for about 3 or 4 days, wasn't he?
That happened again last season. So 2 seasons in a row, we could have had a stable keeper. But yeah, I mean, I understand how you lot are feeling at Hastings. It's exactly the same this end. It's just I can't see any improvement anytime soon. Put it that way. I mean, I think we've got Haywards Heath or someone said next week or this week. I don't know, in a cup.
They're turning things around. That's not going to be an easy game.
That will be a very difficult game. I mean, if Haywards Heath turn up the way they've been playing, then we're going to get a massive, massive shock. And for the club, and without any disrespect to Haywards Heath, I think they're blinded at the minute. It'll be embarrassing. And it will be...
Billericay Saturday, isn't there?
Sorry, Billericay, and then I think we've got Haywards Heath the following week. Yeah,
that ain't going to be easy, is it?
No.
Don't make him feel any more sad. Come on, stop it, Wendy.
No, it's all right.
Tuesday week, you've got us, Marc. All right,
you'll be all right.
They'll be all right then. All right?
Are you down? Are you all down or?
I'm not sure if I'm working or not. If I'm not working, I'm there.
I'm on a raid commentating that night as well. Co-commentating that night.
So yeah, it's not been great. But
it'll get better.
I mean,
thanks for that, Marc.
I think we've all been through it, though, haven't we? Every club goes through a stage like this.
It's just
I can get your frustrations about, like, I say, the boards just wanting to do things on the cheap and just no cohesion between yourselves as a fans and the people at the top, the people in positions that really, they say, need to be speaking with those supporters. We've had it at our place. Thankfully, our good ace in the hole, at least, is we've actually got a manager who does listen to the fans, although the board don't listen to him. So that's kind of like, that one stumbling block we've got.
No, but there's just literally no connection between the club and the supporters at the minute. I mean, just in a nutshell, I won't take too much of your time, but in a nutshell, we had a game a few weeks ago. Jeremy can't remember who we played. But on the Monday night, the under 18s played in their FA Cup game. So a couple of the boys went down to the ground to watch them. Rubbish still everywhere from Saturday. No one bothered cleaning up. The scoreboard, even on the Saturday following, wasn't working. Everything just had that feeling of people do not care. There's too many people at our club that do not care. And just to even have a basic clear up, do you know what I mean? Don't even bother doing that.
It's a bad sign.
So it can get better. Hopefully
it will get better, Marc. It will get better.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
But I know how you're all feeling at Hastings anyway.
Dear. Oh, thanks for that, Marc. I wasn't ready for that, mate. I didn't realise.
Welcome
sorry,
back.
Mate. Yeah.
You were full of shit.
Right then, talking to people I want to give shit to. Right, Rob from Folkestone, I've got money on your lot. So tell me why you're such a mixed bag this season.
Oh, mate, it's early doors. Don't worry about that. Just
you keep saying it's early doors.
It is, mate. You got thing is, as long as we're like within touching distance at Christmas, then and that's the game. I think that's the game. Just sit behind the front.
I'm not going to cash out yet. I'm not cashing out yet. Don't worry.
Don't cash out, mate. Don't cash out. No, well, I don't know. I'm not sure about promotion, mate, but we're in for a shout for playoffs if we continue as we have been. We've just been a bit mixed bag. We sort our discipline out still. We got another red card the other day, like the red card situation, the sending offs we've had, the crackers. Like, I can't understand how we've had so many red cards this season. It's just mad. But since we spoke last, we had who did we have? We played #United and we got a draw there. Sorry, that was at home. It was 1-0. That was a sending. There was a sending off in that game. One of our boys got sent off, held up for a draw, which we should have got more out of, but another silly sending off. We had the Ascot United game in the cup. We beat them, like I said, by a nose. Actually, we beat them 8-1. So we played them. Who else did we?
Canvey, didn't you? Did you play Canvey?
Canvey, wasn't it?
We played Canvey. We played a few weeks ago. We played Canvey and we won over there. good result. And yeah, and we've had the cup game this weekend just gone as well. We played a team which doesn't even sound like a real team. It sounds like some Melchester Rovers, Barton Rovers, as they're called. Apparently they're near Luton Airport, I think. But yeah, we beat them. So we're in the next round, and we got Hanwell Town in the next round for the trophy. So yeah, it's going all right, mate. We've got a couple of really difficult games coming up now. We've got Carshalton away. We never win there. We always get beat there. So I don't think we'll. And then we've got Dover on the Tuesday. That's a massive game.
Yeah. It's a shame that's a Tuesday, isn't it? The gate will still be high, but imagine on a Saturday.
Yeah. It's the same with the away tie as well. That was the first away game of the season, Tuesday night. It's a bit of a stitch up, really, I think, because we're going to Lewis on Boxing Day. We should play like a local team.
Yeah, it's just mad, isn't it?
Yeah. So if we get 4 points out of the next 2 games, I'll be well happy. I'm not sure about winning at Carshalton, but you never know, mate. But no, I say if we can keep on until Christmas and just be sort of 3 points away from the playoffs, that's a good sign. But you just don't know what's going to happen, do you?
No.
It could be better. It's not. I mean, listening to Marc, I mean, God, that sounds terrible. 37 players.
I didn't realise that. I mean, I've obviously been keeping up with Whitehawk, but not that well. Bloody hell, 37.
Yeah.
Players.
Well, I'm so glad everything's so lovely for you, Rob.
Cheers, mate. I feel bad, mate. I do. But no, it could be better, but it ain't going bad. You know.
Yeah, they got Tuesday week, got Hastings. That'll sort you out, Marc. Yeah, go on, Rob. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Right, I hope so, mate.
It's just the Dover game. I just hope it doesn't overshadow the game on Saturday because it's such a big game for the club. I hope they don't let it go to their heads a bit. Because we all want to win that game more than anything, but it shouldn't let it affect the rest of the season. Because it sort of did the first game when we won there.
There's a bit of hooliganism going on there as well, Rob. You getting beaten up?
With the daughter or with Dover?
Yeah, no, daughter.
Yeah, apparently they said that their police are going to be there pulling their risk supporters away from the turnstiles because they got a group of lads who go to the away games because they're banned from the home games.
Oh,
so it's a bit like that episode of the Thin Blue Line for Man United in the cup. You know, it'd be a big crowd. It's a big game, and we haven't played them at home for a long time. So in a competitive game, so yeah, just don't want to lose it. But I say get 4 points the next 2 games. Good sign.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Rob. Right then, let's move on to. Well, I mentioned it earlier. She must have a nosebleed. 4th off top of the Isthmian Southeast, Margate's Terry. Talk to me, Terry.
Yeah, well,
yeah, exactly.
I'm quite enjoying my football at the moment. Yeah, it makes a change, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. Remember what you were like last season?
Oh God, yeah. I was so depressed. I'm actually enjoying my football though. It's not bad. We've got a good squad going on. We've couple of players. Well, 3 players have
left,
gone.
haven't you?
Yeah, we've had Rossi's gone, Franz and Jones has gone because he weren't scoring. Now he's scoring for fun at Leverhead.
Yes.
JBS went today. Not sure what's going on with that, but then we've got other players in to give us a little bit more up front. But yeah, we're doing all right. You know, you were saying about like the lack of like the management and that actually interacting with the fans and that. When you've got a manager and the rest of the players buying you a drink after a game, you know, the interaction between the players and the fans is really good. They always come over, and if we've had a bad game, they're saying like, you know, oh, sorry, that was shit, sort of thing, you know. And we've only lost 3 games this season. 2 of them were cup games. One league game against Burgess Hill we lost. And you know, the players want to play for us at the moment, and you can tell that they're out there. They want to play, and it's actually, you know, because they want to play and they're playing well, it's coming back for the fans. Like, you know, it's I'm having a great time.
You still doing the away coach?
Yeah, I'm driving the bloody. Well, I'm not driving it at the moment because I've done my shoulder, but yeah, I have a trapped nerve and a bulging disc in my neck, so I can't drive it at the moment.
So I hope you're being driven around then. Yeah.
Well, the last game I drove to was actually Horsham, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the cup and the replay, wasn't it? You had a...
Yeah. I had the day off after, so I could do it. There's a lot of Sussex games going on actually. We've got quite a few teams in Sussex that we're playing. Not just like the Horsham game. There's a lot of them all around that area. So I spend most of my time coming down the bloody M23. So
Good luck.
Yeah, unlucky.
So who you got Saturday then, Terry?
Well, we've got Herne Bay tomorrow, and then we're Broadbridge Heath, which
That's
I
literally
believe
right
is in
next to us.
Sussex.
Yeah,
It's
right
just
next
a couple of yards from you guys, isn't
about
it?
5 minutes away from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll know that journey.
It's a similar postcode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rick's
the
driving
same
to
road.
that one, so we're all right. Yeah.
But Herne Bay's going to be a toughie. I mean, well, they used to be.
Yeah, it's Kent Senior Cup as well, so it's like bit of bragging rights going on there, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it should be all right. We're going by train to that one, so it's only down the road.
Yeah.
15 minutes on the train. So yeah, but no, I say we're fourth in the league. We've got 25 points, which I don't think we had 25 points by Christmas last year. So.
And you're still the loudest in the league, aren't you?
What? I mean, did you hear me at Horsham, Rob?
Oh yeah, and at Margate when we were there for the first game. So it's definitely I'll tell you what, that first game I was just touching on that. The first half, do you know what I mean? I know Dom. I think the manager Dom. He spoke before the game, and he was said it'd be one of the toughest games. And I think that was tough. For that first game was tougher than when we played Dorking at home. Do you know what I mean? For the first half, they were very good. They got the goal just before half time, and I think the second half we came on and we created a couple of chances. We popped the ball about. And I think probably you could toss a coin if a draw was probably a fair result at the end. But I thought Margate were exceptionally played well in the first half, definitely.
So we have tended to be like game of two halves team at the moment.
And even at our place, even at our place, when you turned up, it wasn't like we'll play teams higher up in our league that won't put up a performance like that. So no, hopefully it's a good ground to go to. It was a good trip for us, Horsham to Margate. We quite like that on the train. So hopefully you do well and come back up. So it's always a good way.
I'll say we're getting. I mean, we're scoring more goals this season for a start. So it's like, you know, and it's not just one player that's scoring. We've got like 4 or 5 different players that are actually putting the goals in. So, I mean, Ben megged the keeper on Saturday, so that was quite good. He's been a little bit off form, but he's getting back into it. Ibs is doing well. Jordan's doing well. We just got another new striker coming. He scores on his debut. So it's like there's a hope there that we didn't have. Yeah. We haven't had that for a while, and it's like being able to get there and enjoy your football and having a good performance. Even when we've drawn, you know, we've put in a good performance. A couple of silly goals maybe, but I'm enjoying it. It's looking good.
Good.
As you say, fourth. Come on, we can go for it.
It's tough old league to get out of, though. You know, there's
I mean, it's
obviously are always going to be knocking up.
Yeah, obviously with the local rivals as well, like, you know.
What sort of gates you getting the moment? What sort of gates you getting the moment, Terry?
400-ish.
Yeah.
I think we had 449 something.
That's
494 on Saturday.
That's still not bad, to be fair.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting more because we're winning.
Yeah,
there's a couple of people I haven't seen since 3 or 4 years haven't turned up, and it's like, oh, you're back, are you?
We're getting less for losing.
Well, the highs always taste sweeter if you're there for the lows as well. And
I mean, and I've been to some serious troughs with this team. So.
Right, and cheers as always, Terry. Right, let's go to John from Canvey. I'm sure you beat Carl Shorten, didn't you?
We did actually beat Carl Shorten. Yeah,
a bit of a mixed bag, but at least one win to talk about, you mate.
I mean, I'm trying to think where we last picked up off of. I don't know, it was maybe like sort of Bognor or maybe Malden in the trophy, something like that. So, yeah, we had a couple of games in that time. Obviously, we had the Folkestone one, I think, the weekend afterwards. Absolutely horrible lot. Remember my birthday. To be fair, it was more of a close. It was quite a close run affair, really. You can see why it was only the one goal that settled it. I mean, that was just a bit of a free game goal in anything. But I think we come away through it. We weren't too disappointed with the performance. It was just one of them days. So you think, okay, see if we can take that into the Carl Shorten game. And we had, I think, the only sort of monkey we had on our back really is that we hadn't won a league game at home yet. So it was like, well, we need to try and reverse that. As you say, you want to get the crowd on side. And the Carl Shorten game the following Tuesday, that was quite a good performance, really. I mean, they're quite a decent side, Carl Shorten, from what I see them playing. Quite quick down the wings, but we managed to neutralise that, and yeah, we got the chance. It was a bit of an unconventional one. It was just like this free kick. We don't know if he meant it, the boy Jamie Salmon. He seems to have a knack of scoring absolute worldy goals or crucial goals. But this one, I don't know. He'll probably want to claim it was intentional, but yeah. It's just one of them to see the keeper looped in at the back post. And yeah, to be fair, I think the most impressive thing about us that night was we held out quite well defensively. I mean, we've conceded some silly goals at times this season. So to get that clean sheet and look convincing in doing it as well was a good thing. So yeah, but I guess, again, as you said, or a few people have touched on here, it's getting broken up at the minute by cup games as well. Obviously, we had that one against Horsham. And I knew when that was drawn out, I thought, yeah, that's going to be a tough one because we haven't had the best record against them since we come back up. They seemed to like a knockout competition, so it seemed like it was, written in the stars of that. I mean, I wasn't there at the game because I was up in York, but I've had people messaging me. I said, how are we playing? Said, yeah, it's all right, but we were lacking any strikers at all that day. You know, we had, I think, the main two. I think one's on holiday, one was at a wedding, and then the sort of young prodigy, Finn Durrell, he picked up a nasty knock against Cole Shelton. So I don't know how long he's going to be out now. But yeah, I mean, I think it just leaves us now pretty much with the league, and you got like the Essex Cup as well. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it gives us a chance now to get that focus back on it. I mean, at the very least, thankfully, we ain't got a gap in the fixture list coming up in a few weeks because Dover got knocked out as well. So that will be another Saturday game to go straight into. We've got Cheshunt away tomorrow night, which will be interesting, I think. I mean, sort of people have been saying like the last few weeks they might have seen what the people out for it, but I don't know, maybe they'll get a new manager BANTZ somewhere. They've brought someone in, haven't they? I know they lost a Cray at the weekend, but yeah, that's not one we want to take for granted.
We lost to Cheshunt. I thought they were terrible. I genuinely think you'd be able to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say we go into the right mindset. I don't see why we can't come away with something there, definitely.
John,
but
they were the worst team that we've lost to I've seen in probably the last 4 years.
Same here.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, we done them at their place last season. It was quite a convincing performance that. So yeah, you know, so we go about with the right attitude. We will at least have one out-and-out striker back tomorrow night. So yeah, I think we got them and then Chichester at home on Saturday. So I think we owe them one for earlier in the season. But we're starting to get that consistent run of games now. So it's just finding a bit of form really, and try and prop ourselves up that table a bit.
Right then. Well, thank you everyone for coming on.
Just before you go, Rob.
Go on then.
Awesome, Rob.
Yeah.
All the best on Saturday at Chester.
Cheers, appreciate it. Yeah, another good way for it. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's
we'll keep an eye on that one.
Cheers. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, hopefully. No, thank you. Yeah, no, it should be a good game, that one. So we should see what we can do.
Keep flying the flag of Sussex, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely. That lard's been sent. Don't worry about that. It's gone up there. So,
after Montel Adjiman as well.
Yeah, no, he played on a Saturday actually. Yeah, he's beginning to.
Yeah, no, he's a decent lad.
Injury. Yeah, he's
I went with him to the hospital for that one. I keep in touch with him. I'm like, I speak to him every week. He's a decent lad.
Good.
Look after him.
Absolutely. No, it's good to see him back on the pitch, and he played well Saturday. So yeah, hopefully he can keep on as well. So, but no, off we go.
Yeah, and you have to understand how it pains me to say you fly the flag of Sussex to a Horsham fan. Just so you know, everyone knows that's how I feel. But no, thank you ever so much for everyone coming on. Thank you, Rob from Horsham, Terry from Margate, Windy, John from the mighty Hastings, Rob from Folkestone, John from Canvey, and of course Marc from Whitehawk. See you at the game, guys and girls. Yeah, take care.
Cheers.
Thanks everyone. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.